Hello, folks. Chris in Central Pennsylvania. I've literally just walked in the door. Can you believe this? You can't even take a breath with what's going on between South Africa and the United States. So I've been sent a draft copy of a resolution in the House of Representatives from Troy Nehls, representative from Texas, called the Afrikaner Act to help Afrikaners come here as refugees. Now, understand that this law or this bill, this resolution is thoroughly unnecessary. President Trump has the authority to designate a group, and he did that in his 7 February executive order. In that order, when he designated a group of special concern. And I explain this in my refugee questions and my videos, the very first one of which I talked about eligibility. I said South Africans, by virtue of what President Trump said in his executive order, Afrikaners in South Africa who are victims of unjust racial discrimination. That would be all you need to prove that you're in this group. Simply that. And then that's it. You don't have to prove past, persecution, although it helps your case. You don't have to prove a realistic fear of it. The fact you're designated a special group means the group can come over. Rohingyas, Uyghurs, Jews, whatever the case may be historically. So on the 7th of February, I already told you guys this, and I've been sticking with it since because I'm correct. This is U.S. Immigration Nationality Act of 1980. Priority 2, groups of special concern designated by the Department of State as having access to the program by virtue of their circumstances and apparent need for resettlement. The fact that the President of the United States issued an executive order directing them to designate Afrikaners as a group of special concern means you qualify for that. Now, this bill is going to confuse things. Let me explain. This is a bill to designate residents of South Africa as priority 2 refugees of special humanitarian concern and for other purposes, which is what I just said. The title of it is misleading because this can't be the title because this is not what this program is. Representative Nehls' act says this act may be cited as the Asylum for Farmers and Refugees in Crisis and Necessary Immigration Resettlement Act, or the Afrikaner Act. As you can see, Asylum for Farmers and Refugees in Crisis and Necessary Immigration Resettlement Act spells out Afrikaner roughly. Crisis is spelled with a C, not with a K. So that's why they put asylum on there. But it's not asylum. It's simply a title. Be clear about that. The media has not gotten it right. They've gotten it wrong the entire time. So under Section 2, designation of certain residents of South Africa as priority 2 refugees. Then we get here the residents of South Africa who are members of a Caucasian minority group and have suffered persecution or have a well-founded fear of persecution on account of their race, ethnicity, or ancestry. Okay, that's superfluous. You don't have to provide that according to the law. Also, Caucasian minority, that's very disappointing that they won't include others who are minorities in South Africa. We'll see what's going on here. But this is just an act of Congress. The president has wide discretion, and we are waiting to see how that will be defined. Now, this will discourage some people and encourage some other people. So eligibility. You may not be denied the opportunity to come here as a refugee because of the following. If you qualify as an immediate relative of a citizen of the United States, so if you have a family member who's a citizen, you can't be denied because of that. If you're eligible for admission to the United States under any other immigrant classification, you can't be denied. So those who come over habitually for the work visas as farmers cannot be denied because of that. Does that make sense to folks? So a lot of times you can't be a refugee if you qualify to enter America under other circumstances. This will be an exception under this law. It's already an exception under President Trump's program. An applicant for admission to the United States from South Africa may not be denied primarily on the basis of a politically motivated arrest, detention, or other adverse government action taken against such applicant as a result of the applicant's race, ethnicity, or ancestry. As I've said before, if you've been persecuted and falsely accused, falsely convicted of a crime, you are likely not to have it held against you, and that's what this act is saying. Also, aliens provided refuge status under this section shall not be counted against any numerical limitation under sections 201, 202, 203, 207 of the Immigration Nationality Act. So, what does that say? What I've also been saying. There'll be no cap, most likely, on the number of people that can come over. That would be interesting, to say the least. Now, here's where it's going to disappoint some people. These are reporting requirements, not execution of the program. These are reporting requirements back to Congress in this act, if it's passed, this resolution, not the execution of the program. So be clear about that. Not later than 180 days after the date of the enactment of this act and every 90 days thereafter. In other words, the Secretary of State and Homeland Security have to report back to Congress within 6 months and then every 3 months after that. The things they must include in the report are the total number of applications that are pending at the end of the reporting period, the average wait times for all applicants who are, as of the date of reporting, still awaiting, any employment verification for those who have arrived, pre-screening interview with Resettlement Support Center, interview with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, and completion of security checks, as well as the number of denials of applications for refugee status disaggregated by the reason for each such denial. Aliens granted status under this section as priority 2 refugees of special humanitarian concern under the refugee resettlement priority system shall be considered to satisfy the requirements under Section 207 of the Immigration and Nationality Act for admission to the United States. So, what does this mean? Well, Representative Nels has muddied the waters. First off, in the effort to make his law look like the word Afrikaner, he's used the word asylum. Well, it's not asylum, it's refugee status. Also, he is putting in place requirements, standard boilerplate requirements for refugee resettlement. So I'm not sure what Troy Nels is attempting to do other than show support for Afrikaners. This law is unnecessary. However, if this law goes forward, the House passes and the Senate passes it, the president, I suspect, would sign it. But he doesn't need Congress to approve what he's doing now. He just needs the State Department to finish the program, define who Afrikaners are. Troy Nels is saying white people are Afrikaners. But it's not just farmers, it's all white Afrikaners, according to Troy Nels. But Troy Nels is not the Department of State. He is, however, a legislator, and if that gets passed through the House and gets passed through the Senate and signed by the president, then it becomes law. So, again, complicating, muddying the waters here. The bottom line, folks, is that there is genuine, serious interest in the welfare of Afrikaners in South Africa by people in Congress. And there's the proof right there, this resolution. So I will contact his office to verify this. This just came out. Obviously, they've gone home for the evening. They're not around, or he's back in Texas. I'm not sure where he's at. But I will reach out to his office and try to get confirmation of this and see if we can't confirm this draft bill and why this happened. All right, folks? Thanks a lot. Whew, it's getting crazy. Cheers.